we dig into the profitable side of gardening that most channels won't touch. Because honestly, some folks don't want you knowing these secrets. Real talk before we start. What I'm sharing today took me years of trial, error, and conversations with growers who actually make their living from this. If you want more of this kind of no-nonsense, profitable gardening content, hit subscribe right now and turn those notifications on. And if even one crop here makes you think differently about your garden space, drop a like so I know this resonates with you. Now let's get into these absolute hidden gems. Let me introduce you to 7 crops that sound unfamiliar but have the potential to completely transform what you think is possible in a garden. Crop number 1, goji berries. Now, I'm not talking about the dried ones you see at health food stores. I'm talking about fresh goji berries. And here's why this matters. Fresh goji berries are nearly impossible to find because they don't ship well. But the demand? Through the roof. A packet of goji berry seeds costs about $6 to $8, or a bare root plant runs $12 to $15. These are perennials, so you plant once, and they produce for years, sometimes decades. A mature plant can produce 4 to 6 pounds of berries per season, and fresh goji berries sell for $25 to $40 per pound at farmers markets. Do the math. One plant can generate $100 to $240 per year, year after year, and you can fit multiple plants in a modest space. The magic here is scarcity. People know goji berries from the superfood craze, but they've only had them dried. When you show up with fresh ones, you're offering something people have been curious about but never experienced. Growing them is straightforward. They are drought-tolerant once established, handle poor soil well, and they're related to tomatoes. They prefer full sun and decent drainage but aren't fussy. First year, minimal harvest. Year 2 and beyond? Substantial production with minimal effort. The market positioning writes itself. Fresh superfoods, locally grown, can't be shipped from elsewhere. Health-conscious consumers, smoothie enthusiasts, people interested in wellness. They're all your customers. And because fresh berries are so rare, people pay premium prices. Nurseries don't push these because there's no immediate gratification. But you're building perennial income, and goji berries deliver exactly that. Crop number 2, saffron crocus. When people hear saffron, they think of expensive spices, fancy restaurants, totally out of reach. But here's the truth. Saffron is actually one of the most profitable crops per square foot, and it's way more accessible than you'd think. Saffron comes from crocus flowers. Each flower produces 3 red stigmas, and those are the saffron threads. A pound of dried saffron sells for $500 to $5,000, depending on quality. You can buy saffron crocus corms for $1 to $2 each. Plant 50 corms, about $75 to $100 total, and you've got a patch producing for years. Here's the beautiful part. Saffron corms multiply underground. 50 becomes 100, then 200. Within a few years, you've got a serious operation in maybe 20 square feet. The labor is minimal. Plant corms in late summer. They flower in the fall. Harvest the stigmas on a dry morning. Dry them carefully. And you've got one of the world's most expensive spices. The market is incredible. Chefs want it. Home cooks who've only used cheap imported stuff are blown away by fresh saffron. And there's growing awareness about saffron fraud. When you offer genuine, locally grown saffron with full traceability, you're offering something incredibly valuable. Your initial corn investment pays for itself in the first harvest. Every year after is almost pure profit. The knowledge barrier keeps most people out. It sounds exotic, impossible, but saffron crocus is cold hardy, grows in regular soil, and needs less care than most vegetables. That barrier means less competition for you. Crop number 3. Sea buckthorn. Sea buckthorn produces bright orange berries absolutely packed with nutrients. Vitamin C levels that demolish oranges, omega fatty acids, antioxidants, the whole package. And almost nobody in North America is growing this commercially on a small scale. So, the market is wide open. You can buy plants for $10 to $20. These hardy shrubs actually prefer poor soil. They fix their own nitrogen, and they're incredibly tough. Once established, a single shrub produces 10 to 15 pounds of berries per year, selling for $15 to $30 per pound, fresh or more if processed into juice or oil. Sea buckthorn is exploding in the wellness and skincare industries. The oil is in high-end face creams, serums, and supplements. The juice is marketed as the next superfood. But finding fresh berries or local products, nearly impossible in most areas. The berries are extremely tart, so people won't eat them fresh. But that's perfect, because you're creating value-added products. Sea buckthorn juice, jam, syrup. These command premium prices, and the barrier to making them is low. The shrubs are beautiful, with silvery green leaves and vibrant orange berries that hang on through winter. They're drought-tolerant and cold-hardy, down to 40 degrees, so they'll grow almost anywhere. You need male and female plants for berries, but one male pollinates up to 6 females. 7 plants total, about $150 investment, and within 3 years you've got a productive berry patch needing almost zero maintenance. The marketing angle is powerful. Ancient Himalayan superfood, packed with more vitamin C than almost anything else. Nurseries rarely carry sea buckthorn because it's not a pretty impulse buy. But for you, that means less competition and higher profits. Quick pause here. If your mind is spinning with possibilities, if you're seeing your garden in a completely new light, go ahead and smash that like button and drop a comment telling me if you've even heard of these crops before. I love hearing from you all, and your comments help more people discover this content. All right, let's keep rolling. Crop number 4. Wasabi. Yes, real wasabi. Not the green horseradish paste from sushi restaurants, but actual Wasabia japonica. Real wasabi is one of the most expensive crops in the world. Fresh rhizomes sell for up to $100 per pound, sometimes more. A mature plant produces a rhizome weighing 4 ounces to over a pound, and it's not nearly as difficult to grow as everyone thinks. Wasabi has this reputation for being impossible outside of Japan, which is partly true and partly marketing. It does need specific conditions: shade, consistent moisture, cool temperatures, and good drainage. But if you've got a shaded area, especially near a stream or somewhere you can set up a simple hydroponic or aquaponic system, you can absolutely grow it. You can buy wasabi plantlets online for $20 to $30 each. Start with 3 to 5 plants as a test. They take 18 months to 2 years to reach harvest size, so this requires patience. But here's what makes it worth it. The market for fresh wasabi barely exists outside Japan, which means sushi restaurants, high-end chefs, and culinary enthusiasts are desperate for local sources. Fresh wasabi tastes completely different from the imitation stuff. It's more complex, less harsh, and almost sweet. Beyond the rhizome, you can sell the wasabi leaves and stems. They're edible, peppery, delicious in salads or pickled, and they command good prices too. Multiple income streams from the same plant. The profit potential is absurd. Invest $150 in 5 plants. 2 years later, 5 rhizomes averaging half a pound each at $80 LB is $200. But each plant produces offsets. Baby plants you can sell or replant to expand your operation for free. The barrier is knowledge and patience. Nurseries don't sell it because it's not a sunny garden center plant. That ignorance creates your opportunity. Crop number 5, ground cherries. Ground cherries, also called golden berries or husk cherries, are small fruits wrapped in papery husks that taste like a cross between a tomato, pineapple, and mango. They're sweet, tropical, absolutely unique, and most people have never heard of them. But once someone tastes one, they're hooked. A packet of seeds costs $3 to $4 and contains maybe 25 seeds. Each plant produces hundreds of fruits over a long season, from midsummer through the first frost. The fruits fall to the ground when ripe, hence the name, and you just collect them. Fresh ground cherries sell for $8 to $12 per pint at farmers markets. But the real magic is in value-added products. Ground cherry jam, salsa, pie filling. These are products people go wild for because they've never experienced these flavors. The plants are ridiculously easy to grow. They're related to tomatoes and tomatillos. So if you can grow tomatoes, you're qualified. They handle heat, tolerate some drought, aren't bothered by most pests, and they'll reseed themselves. Your $3 seed packet can produce plants generating several $100s in sales over one season. Save seeds, which is easy, and your input costs drop to basically zero in subsequent years. The story matters here. Ancient Incan fruit, South American treasure, something exotic you're bringing to your community. Nurseries occasionally have starts, but they're hidden in the back with the weird tomatoes, never promoted, never explained. Most garden centers have no idea what they've got, but you do now. Crop number 6, lemon verbena. Now let's talk gourmet appeal. Lemon verbena is an herb with leaves that smell and taste intensely of lemon, but with a floral complexity that actual lemons don't have. It's used in high-end restaurants for desserts, cocktails, teas, and savory dishes. And it's almost impossible to find fresh. You can buy a plant for $8 to $12. One established plant provides enough leaves for dozens of bunches, each selling for $5 to $10. But fresh leaves are just the beginning. Dried lemon verbena is even more valuable, selling for $20 to $40 per ounce at specialty stores. And it dries perfectly, keeping its flavor for over a year. The market is passionate. Tea drinkers love it. Mixologists are obsessed with it for infusions. Bakers use it in cakes and custards. Because it's so hard to find, people will seek you out. One plant costs $12. Harvest leaves all season, sell fresh bunches, and dry the rest. That one plant can easily generate $200 to $300 per season, producing for years. Value-added opportunities are endless. Lemon verbena sugar, tea blends, infused honey, bath products. People pay premiums for these because the flavor is so distinct and superior to artificial lemon. Nurseries rarely highlight lemon verbena because it's not showy. No big flowers, no screaming, "Buy me." But for anyone who knows herbs, it's a treasure. And that's your market. Crop number 7. Mâché. Last one. And this might be the most unusual. Mâché, also called corn salad or lamb's lettuce. Mâché is a delicate salad green grown in Europe for centuries, but almost unknown in North America. It has a mild, nutty flavor and a tender, buttery texture. And here's what makes it a brilliant cash crop. It grows in cold weather when almost nothing else will. A packet of seeds costs $3 to $4 and contains hundreds of seeds. You can succession plant throughout fall, winter in mild climates, and early spring. The plants are tiny, so you can grow them densely. Fresh mâché sells for $10 to $15 per pound at farmers markets, and high-end restaurants pay even more. The reason? It's a luxury green. Here's what makes mâché so smart. It fills the income gap. While everyone else's gardens are dormant, you're harvesting gourmet greens and making money. It's cold-hardy down to about 20-degree course, and actually prefers cooler temperatures. It doesn't need rich soil or tons of space. From that $3 seed packet, if you plant densely, you can easily produce 5 to 10 pounds over a season. At $12 per pound, that's $60 to $120 from one packet. And because the season is different, you're creating income when most gardeners aren't earning anything. Nurseries never carry mâché starts because the plants are too small and delicate for retail. But that just means the market is yours for the taking. So there you have it. 7 crops that might have you scratching your head right now. But every single one represents a real opportunity to create income from your garden in ways most people never consider. The common thread? Low supply, high demand, and minimal competition. These aren't the plants your nursery is pushing because there's no ongoing profit for them in educated, self-sufficient gardeners. But for you, that's exactly why they work. You don't need to grow all of them. Pick 1 or 2 that match your climate, your space, and your interests. Start small. Learn the market, build relationships with customers, and grow from there. This isn't about turning your yard into a farm. It's about strategic choices that create meaningful income without breaking your back or your budget. If this opened your eyes to what's possible, make sure you're subscribed because we're just getting started. I've got more uncommon crops, more profit strategies, and more real-world advice coming. Drop a comment telling me which crops surprised you the most. And if you found this valuable, share it with another gardener who's looking to make their space work harder for them. All right. Wonderful people. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and remember that the best crops are often the ones nobody's talking about.